Leon saw his shuriken stuck in someone. Spike took out a grenade and threw it at Leon. What did he do? Sandy went up to Gus, looked at the place of impact. But there was no blood, not a drop. He took out the shuriken and there were no wounds from the blow either. Thank God. Most likely Gus passed out due to fear. He was afraid of the shuriken. Leon got up and didn't know what to say. If he understood that Gus really exists, he would never have attacked him. But the fighter still hasn't seen anything, just like Meg. Sandy said to take him home. He picked him up and together with Spike they went to him. Meg admitted that the fighter certainly didn't lie, and she and Leon made a very big mistake. But why was it necessary to throw the shuriken? Leon said that he thought the two were bullying him, but how wrong he was. Gus was brought to Spike. He was laid on the sofa. Sandy waited for him to wake up. After a while, Gus opened his eyes. He was very scared. Sandy asked why there was no blood from the shuriken. Gus didn't know, but he didn't experience pain from the blow. The guy was just scared and lost consciousness as a result. Spike was glad that everything was fine with him. Sandy didn't understand. Was it really because he was holding the balloon that he could see Gus? No, the boy answered. He just trusted him when the fighter brought his friend back. That is, only those whom he trusts see him. Now everything is clear. Gus didn't trust Leon and Meg, so they didn't see him. Okay, Sandy had to leave. He wished Gus to forget what had happened and went to the fights. Gus was very disappointed with the arena's brawlers, especially the Leons. He didn't want to stay here. He wanted to go somewhere far away. Spike understood everything. Leon acted very cruelly. Even considering that he thought that there was no one, Spike would never forgive him. He dishonored the name of all the brawlers. Gus got up and said that he wanted to leave. He was already better. Brawler couldn't leave the guy alone. He walked him to the exit. Spike was sad. Gus was silent. He wanted to leave the arena as soon as possible. Cactus wanted to somehow cheer up the guy, but didn't know how. What? Who is this? Gus looked up. Spike didn't understand what it was. Fighters saw such a person for the first time. Gus didn't like this stranger at all. He began to worry. Spike was also excited. There was silence. He hit the fighter! Spike was in pain. What kind of power? The boy wanted to help his friend. But how? This freak took Gus' balloon and blew it up! The boy cried. What does he want? Spike understood that the stranger was stronger than him, but he couldn't give up. He's a legendary brawler! What do you want from him, freak? The stranger asked where is El Primo. Why does he need El Primo? Spike couldn't say anything, no way! He asked again where is El Primo? The fighter was silent. The bastard pressed even harder, thinking that Spike didn't want to speak, but he simply didn't know how. Gus was crying. He couldn't watch it. The boy shouted for the freak to stop, but no one except Spike heard him. The stranger asked again, where is El Primo? Brawler was passing out. No, Spike, hold on! He realized that the cactus wouldn't tell him anything and... No! What the hell did you do? Spike! You can die! No, Spike! How is this possible? How could you leave us? Gus sobbed. He didn't want to believe. This is a nightmare. The worst nightmare ever. Spike was very dear to him. He went to his body, laid his head and cried. How much the brawler did for him, sheltered him and was always kind. He will not leave it like this. The guy ran after Sandy. He searched for him all over the ring and found him going to fight with Edgar. Sandy wondered, what happened? Edgar didn't understand who Sandy was talking to. Gus fell to his knees. He was crushed. Sandy asked again what happened. Gus said Spike was dead. No, 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 Sandy cried. Who did this? Edgar didn't understand anything. Sandy told him that their friend had died. Edgar didn't understand how he knew this. Gus looked at Edgar. He saw a good person in him and trusted him. After which Ed saw Gus. What kind of guy? The kid briefly told what happened and they ran to the place. Brawler saw Spike. Oh my god, what did they do to him? What a terrible nightmare! What will happen now? Gus couldn't watch anymore. Sandy said to tell everyone about it. Edgar offered Gus to come with him. He would help him. So they came to the gift shop where the joyful Colette was working. Edgar said that he wasn't alone. But with whom? Gus trusted the girl. And when she saw him, she almost lost consciousness. What kind of magic? Edgar said that's not all. Colette listened to him carefully. Spike died. What? Spike? The one who fought for Colette, who loved her, the kindest cute Spike. What kind of bastard did this? Edgar hugged the girl and comforted her. It was the saddest day in the ring. It started to rain. Even the sky was crying. After 3 days, Spike was buried. All the brawlers gathered. Gus was the closest to Spike. He was very dear to him. Nobody believed what happened. But such is life. Everyone was crying. The legendary fighters couldn't comprehend it. One of them died. 2 weeks have passed. Gus stayed with Colette and Edgar. I can say they adopted him and he lived with them. Leon knew that Gus lives with Ed and Colette. He still hasn't seen the guy, but he really wanted him to. Arriving at the gift shop where they were now, the guy greeted the brawlers. Gus was scared of Leon. What does he want now? The fighter knew that his spooky balloon was blown up, so he brought a new one. He released the balloon and said that he was very sorry about his act. And he didn't believe Spike then. He thought that he was being bullied, but Spike never forgave him. They didn't reconcile. Leon didn't have time to say sorry to his friend, but at least he should say sorry for the boy. Gus was shocked. He took the balloon and said that he forgives the fighter, after which Leon saw Gus. He ran up and hugged him. May this balloon always be with him, become the same best friend as Spooky, and may Spike's soul forgive him. Leon began to appreciate what they lost. Don't let it happen. Ask for forgiveness if someone was offended. If someone is offended by you, don't be offended by anyone. Give your love and kindness to others. Praise God and be happy. I hope Spike is in the heaven and he sees that Gus is doing well in the ring. The guy didn't want to be a brawler. He needed a family and he found it. Until the end of unknown, Gus died or not, but rather he is a half ghost. He is seen by those fighters whom he trusted. Spike was the first and Leon was the last.